All right, guys, everyone ready to start talking about some racing? All right, so once again, if you'd like to continue conversations, having a good time, just ask that you take it out in the bar or out front there. This first portion here is really about the racing stuff, the racing series here, so we're going to get started on that. Okay, so if I can get everyone's attention, we kind of stop the conversations here. We're going to start talking about a few things, all right? All right, guys. First off, welcome back. It kind of seems like old hat because I've been the fortunate one to say welcome back for many, many years here to a lot of familiar faces, and it doesn't really get old because you have opening day where you get cars on track, but then you get the day here where, we really have a good crowd here and you see so many familiar faces, friendly faces, but everyone's so genuinely glad to be here that it's always a fun thing to have kind of this opening day here. So in the past, we've done racer meetings in the off season. In the last couple of years, we've been doing kind of just at the beginning of the year, and I think that's fine because a lot of things that we're covering aren't big dramatic changes where you've got to make adjustments to your car and things like that. But we're going to go through some details on some things, update you on a few things, and just kind of prep you for the coming season. It's amazing. I think this is our 18th year of racing, so we're in our 21st year of Autobahn, so it's got to be our 18th year of racing. I'm just kind of curious, kind of a show of hands, who's been racing with us for less than 5 years? Okay, that's a pretty good number. How many of you have been racing here for more than 10 years? Almost an equal number. That's amazing. How many have been racing here for more than 15 years? Which means you've probably been racing here since we started. That's incredible to have. If you look at the racing cycles throughout different series throughout the country, the world, or whatever, maybe a 5 to 7 year span is usually what you get racers to do, and then they move on to something different, whatever it is. But we have a lot of people that have been racing here since day one, so that's pretty incredible. It says a lot for the racing, but also for the club itself here. So that's awesome. Kind of the state of the series a little bit. We continue to have some growth on the whole thing. Spec Miata has been solid for a long time, obviously, but if you look at some of these numbers, I'm not sure how well you can read some of those if you're far away, but this past year, we jumped from 395 to 427 entries for Miatas. So we know Miatas are solid, right? They're strong. Everything's going well. We've got some good things going there. But in some other series, we've had growth as well, too. The Chase Race series, a couple years ago, we split into Pro and Sportsman. And so Sportsman was kind of lacking a little bit, but this past year, Chase Race was really strong as well, too. So we've got good growth there as well. Our Radical Cup series, we all know that we've been kind of struggling with that one a little bit. We had a little downturn, but we got some great ideas to promote growth in that as well, too. One of those is going to be the Radical Regional Series. So this is something new that we're doing. The Radical Regional Series is essentially, it's an invitational to all Radical owners. But what we talked about with both Team Stradale and with Radical themselves is within about a 3 to 5 hour range here from Autobahn, there's a whole bunch of Radical owners that are looking for more places to race. So we're going to invite those guys in. We're going to do a 3-weekend series, and within that, there's going to be 3 races each weekend. So it's essentially 9 race series for those 3 weekends. But we're going to tie this series to some other activities that were going on. Kyle's going to talk a little later about some of our social activities, but these weekends will be tied with dinners and parties and things like that. What it's going to do, it's really hopefully going to enhance our own Radical series so our members have more people to race against, but also all these Radical owners, if they're within 3 hours here, they should be introduced to Autobahn and become members and be part of our regular series anyways. So we're really excited about the Radical series. We've been working closely with Team Stradale on that. So we really want to spread the word. All you Radical guys, spread the word. Tell everyone you know that owns a Radical that, hey, man, we got something going on here. It's going to be really fun and cool. So that should really help the Radical growth. For Wings and Things, we, as a series, did a much better job communicating with John and Havoc Motorsports on scheduling. So hopefully we came up with a good schedule this year where they're not out of town with their away races. All their guys are here. So we should have good turnouts for Wings and Things as well, too, because it's not conflicting with a whole bunch of things going on. So you can see overall through the whole thing, we've got growth all over the place. GT, again, another big growth, went from 140 to 150 to 167 last year. that GT growth, a lot is tied to the drivers themselves. We all know Charlie does a great job promoting the series, but the rest of the drivers are talking to each other. They're encouraging each other to come out, and that's kind of what we need in all the series. But GT was really good last year, and I expect that to grow. We put a whole bunch of guys through the racing school last year, and quite honestly, maybe only a quarter of them started racing, but they're ready to go this year. So we should be pretty busy in all things across the board. So it should be really good. With such a growing series and everything, we've gone a long ways. We talk about some of the guys that have raced here since the beginning. Well, in the beginning, maybe we had 25, 30 racers. It was kind of a small series, even though it was really good. But now, if you look at that previous one, we're at 400 some entries over the course of a year. That means this whole series has grown. That means there's more to do. There's more we got to take care of. So the race staff is growing itself. So a couple changes we're going to make in staffing this year that you'll see is Kyle is going to be our race series communicator, meaning a lot of the emails that you're getting that are going to be promoting the next races are going to come from Kyle. He's going to be working on making sure the race days are fun, et cetera, things like that. Kind of really, recap stories. That whole communicator, that promotion type thing of the race series, Kyle's going to take a big role in that. And with Kyle taking over that part, Kathy's going to be a lot more busy. Is Kathy in here? You here, Kathy? I think she's out taking care of the track. Kathy's going to have a bigger role as well, too. So both on the administration side, like gathering up entries and organizing and things like that, she's going to be very involved in the Radical Regional Series, to the point that anyone entering that series or asking for questions, she's going to take care of that and promote that. She's probably also going to be a lot more prominent for chase races. She might be the person leading the chase races like Kyle was last year, perhaps even Wings and Things or some other series as well too. So you're going to see Kathy around a lot more with a lot more authority as well too. So as the whole series gets bigger, we've got to expand our staff, got to expand our responsibilities, and we're doing that. So any of the racer emails that could come out, you might see from any of the three of us, depending on what the subject matter is. So again, all three of us, you can come to us with questions or anything you want. So we're all there to help you. With those people taking some new roles, we're going to be training some other race staff to fill in some of the gaps like grid, starter, timing, and things like that. So you're going to see some new faces. Some of the familiar faces you've grown used to, Nate, Chris, some other guys, they're actually starting to get other responsibilities throughout the company. So we've got to work on kind of replacing some key people a little bit. We'll handle that throughout the year. But they've had some opportunities to kind of move up in the company as well too, and gather some other responsibilities beyond the racing and the track. So that's good for them. We're going to have our instructors a little more involved this year as well too. A little bit later on when we do the member meeting, we'll introduce our new manager of the Driver Academy, Andrew Hobbs. But Jordan's going to be around, and we're going to keep a closer eye on a lot of drivers all the time, not particularly racers. But when you have guest drivers or anybody that's on track, if someone's going off and really struggling on track, those guys are going to get involved right away and see if we can correct the issue before someone has a bigger problem. So you're going to see some changes in staff, but I think it's real positive. It just shows the growth of the series, right? Another big change we made this year is we remodeled upstairs in North Tower. And at some point, we'll invite you guys all out to come up and see it when it's done and fully operational. It's really kind of a pride point right there because it's going to be really cool. But we've enhanced the whole room there, including several more workstations, countertops. We've made a larger screen for all the cameras to be seen. We've got some more monitors on the walls. The whole idea of this and how it affects you guys as racers is everybody in that race control room now has all the information possible in front of them on the wall, whether it be weather, whether it be timing, flags, the cameras, everything. So anyone who's got a part in there doesn't have to ask, hey, is the weather coming? They've got all the information right in front of them. So that means we can make decisions quicker. We can keep a better eye on things. So that's really going to be a great thing. It's going to be enhancement. It's going to be a safety issue for the racing. So we're pretty proud of that. We'll be sending out some opportunities to come see that. And if you're here on a race day and you're not racing, come check it out. We've got a little space there for some viewers as well too. So it's going to be pretty cool. Working on race days themselves. So if you remember last year, we did that survey of all the racers, right? And we had great response on that. one of the common things we heard of is how can we make race days more special. So we're going to work on that a little bit. Obviously putting the flags up is a great start, but we want to do more of that. Kyle's going to be enhancing some things a little bit, so that'll be good. We're going to do some different things at the podium itself. So we've got some special things planned for the podium, but you might see a little bit change on how we do the process there. So for example, there might be a race where we're going to say, okay, this group here, when the race is over, the top 3 drive directly to the podium where we're going to have some specific spots for you guys to park. As far as doing tech and things like that, what you need to think about is we may have you park your car in front of the podium, and we may weigh you with your gear as the driver. Then we'll come back later on, and after the podium's over, we'll weigh your car so that we can get that whole process going, kind of make the podiums more fun, and not have to, everyone sitting around waiting for all the cars to pass tech. So there's going to be couple changes there. We're looking for ideas to make race days more fun. There's some of them that are revolving around social events, and those are always cool. That means you come on for race day, you race all day long, and you got something cool to do in the afternoon. But always open for suggestions on how we can make race days kind of more fun, that pro feel, that excitement level, that's what we want to see, right? When it comes to the schedule itself, so, if you just take a quick glance at the schedule, it doesn't look all that different than it has for several years. Well, again, going back to that survey we did for you guys, one thing that you told us is that we're on the right track with what we're doing with the schedule. So there doesn't need to be major changes. Another thing that we got out of that was that you guys like these special races. So whether it be a double header or the Triple Crown or an hour-long race, varying the race lengths, things like that, you guys like the mix up there. The overwhelming majority like the variety of certain things. So we're adding more of that. There's going to be some more announcements to come on special races. So just because something looks like a standard race up there, you might get some information to find out, oh no, this is a long race, or we're doing something special with this race. So we're going to keep on doing cool things. We don't want to get stagnant, right? So you don't want to just show up and every race day is kind of the same. I talked about that when we were going through the season last year, that every race has its own feel, every race is different, and we're kind of going to continue with that theme to make sure each one of them feel a little bit special. One of the things that's not listed on here is enduros. So it's interesting that in that survey, enduros got a good response. Yes, we should keep on doing enduros. But then when it comes to the race, nobody enters, right? So I didn't put an enduro on the schedule, but that's not to say we couldn't add one. But in order to do that, we've got to get a bunch of people to commit and say, yes, we want to do an enduro on this date, if it's a possible date or whatever. But we need some commitment out of that. It's one thing to everyone say, yeah, we should do enduros, but then nobody does it. That's a bunch of waste of time for the rest of us. So we'll keep working on that, okay? Another thing you'll notice on there is obviously the radical regional races. So the radical races that have the symbol by them, that's going to be the radical regional ones. You'll see promotions on the radical regional basically for non-members. There's different pricing obviously for members themselves. So when you see that online registration form for radical regionals, sign up through us as a member. Obviously you don't have to pay that certain price that we got for them as well too. So another thing that's on the schedule, you'll notice some of the other opportunities to race here. So there's good stuff there for no matter what you race, there's opportunities here. One of the things I want to point out is July 5 and 6, FARA. FARA is a Florida-based series that's very popular down there. We've had some members race with them a lot over the winter. They're expanding out into a little bit further territories. They're going to Georgia and a few other places, but they're really stretching out to come this far north. But the interesting thing about FARA is they have a pro Spec Miata series. So their payouts, their total purse is like 20 grand plus. So like it's legit. It's already got a lot of attention from other regional racers around here. There's going to be a big Spec Miata contingency, and that's a pro race. So home track, kick some ass, bring the money here. Come on, let's do it, man. Let's kick their butts. But that's going to be a fun one, right? So keep that one on your calendar as well, too. Another thing I want to point out is where's the awards dinner? It's not on there. Am I not seeing it? I want to talk about the awards dinner. We'll make sure that's on the schedule. I think maybe we had a little confusion there, but The awards dinner this past year, the awards dinner is always fun, all right? But we kind of had a low turnout, and it was a little bit disappointing, especially when you see all these karting kids. The karting kids came in dressed to the nines, pumped up, like it was a big deal for them, big special night. And then we get to our car guys, and some top threes, there weren't anybody representing at all. And the karting kids are like, well, what's wrong with the car guys? It's a special night, and in my view, like even if you're not getting a big award, you should be there anyways to support the guys who spent all season working hard and got that award. So I'd like to see a bigger turnout for the awards dinner. We always have a good time. Charlie does a great job giving some special fun things away to the GT crowd. We always have a gift for all the racers at the awards banquet. And we'll make some other things to keep it more exciting. I did send an email out asking some questions about, what can we do to make that more enticing? And I got a variety of responses, some of them indicating we should do it on Oktoberfest when the racing is over. Well, the problem with that is, then the racing just got done and we're supposed to do an awards banquet an hour later. You're not going to have customized trophies. There could be discrepancies on points. There's things to sort out. So that's a little bit difficult. To do that immediately is really hard. Otherwise, the awards aren't going to have your name on it. There's no way for that. So we can keep that in consideration, but there's some difficulties with that. If you have ideas on, what could make it more exciting to go there that day, and maybe it was because we didn't do the Enduro in the afternoon, even though that only accounts for a few people. But we'd like to work on that one as well, too, to keep that awards dinner pretty special. Let's see. Live stream stuff. Another thing we got out of that survey is the live stream is very important to you guys. Most people thought it was very important. Another good portion thought it was pretty cool. Let's keep doing it. And it was only a small portion that didn't really care about it. So Kyle, along with Nate in the background, are our production team. They've got some things they're working on there. We keep enhancing the live streams, including they're going to add some instant replay stuff. They've got some new graphics, some cool stuff to add into the live streams. But one thing you guys can help them with is those driver bios. If you remember, if you go on our website and you go into the member racing, you can complete a driver bio. If you complete that driver bio, you're much more likely to get some screen time, which is important if you got some sponsors on your car or if you just like to get attention. But fill out those bios, give them something to talk about. They can say exciting things about you. Hey, I didn't know that this guy came from Australia and he, used to fly rockets or something like that. Who knows? But you'll get some screen time, some interesting things to talk about. It makes the whole production better as well, too, so that people are interested in watching. And the more people who are watching, the more value there is to be on screen or even to have some sponsors, things like that. It all helps the series grow. And that kind of goes back to, when we talk about the early days, it wasn't really a good idea to have, a bunch of attention and sponsors and really kind of put that pressure on because it was such a small series, right? And all our drivers were learning. Well, the series has grown so much. We're at that point now where there can be value in having a sponsor. There's value being seen on the live stream. So it's all grown, but you guys can help that portion of it by giving your info, doing your driver bio, and enhancing that, okay? Next step here is we got sponsors, many returning sponsors, but we'll start with our new sponsor for Spec Miata is Race Caddy, just signing on about 2 weeks ago. Race Caddy is John Joe Dwayne. He's over in the corner here. Put your hand up. Wave. There you go. Yep. Race Caddy is it's a specialty device to hold your helmet in certain, like even in your car or in your trailer or whatever. He's got some good products there, so stop on and see him. But we're going to encourage all of our sponsors, including John, to come to our drivers meeting. They've always had this opportunity. Come to the drivers meeting, talk to the guys, take just a couple minutes to explain what your product is, what your business is, and get out in front of people. Take advantage of that sponsorship and promote yourself, right? So, of course, we've got Race Caddy as Spec Miata. First Bank Card is returning again for SM2. He's been doing that for a long time as well, too, so we really appreciate that. All right. Yep, congratulations. We've got all three of our returning GT sponsors, so CXI Trucking, Eurosport, and Highland Management. Those guys have all been doing it for years as well, too. And, of course, Chase Race, we've got Hamel Dentistry, and we've got MBS2 Motorsports continuing on. Yep. IBC with the Radical Cup, we've got Team Stradali, once again supporting that series, IBC. When it comes to Wings and Things, Havoc is now actually the title sponsor for Wings and Things, even though they've always supported it. Now they've got their name officially on that, so that's great. When we talk about Havoc too, of course, they're the ones who facilitate that whole thing with Hoosier for Spec Miatas and Wings and Things, right? So the Hoosier sponsorship is continuing. The contingency where you can win tires, both in a drawing and both for winning races. So that takes a lot of effort, and to get Hoosier involved in however many tires they give away in a year, that's a big commitment. So we really appreciate Havoc continuing on getting that happening. So good job. Yep. And then, of course, for Spec Miata Series, we still have the support of Mazda. Mazda's been supporting our series really since the beginning, and they continue on with $10,000 of Mazda. It's not even Mazda money anymore. It's cash that you're getting. I think you get a debit card now through Mazda if you're a top 10 in the series. So it's really great that we've got these sponsors supporting us. Obviously, we all know prices continue to go up on everything, and these guys really, they're helping keep the cost of entry fees down. The whole series costs a lot more than I think a lot of people realize. A couple of years ago, I showed a graph of where the funds go that it takes to run this series. And you're talking an ambulance, you're talking extra staff, you're talking awards. Even just the awards price itself is probably 40, 50 grand when you add it all up, not even including the year-end stuff. So it gets to be pretty expensive. There's a lot of other elements as well, too. So the sponsors really help in keeping the prices down. I will tell you there's going to be a slight increase in entry fees this year. We're going from $150 to $175. I think that's quite fair. If you look around at other motorsports clubs and you look at their entry fees, you'll realize that this is a bargain. This is a really good value for what you're getting here. So everything goes up a little bit. We're just keeping up with that. It's not too bad, so not too big a deal, right? Let's see. I kind of talked about podium stuff already. Getting into, I'll save that. We'll get into some more detailed stuff here, right? So one of the things that got brought up last year a lot, and I know it's a big thing, some other series are starting to use it, is in-car communications, whether that be in-car flagging or it be direct communications from race control to a driver or to a team, etc. So a couple things on that topic. We've been looking at the technology that's out there. I know there's, Flagtronics, there's MyLaps, there's things like that that's out there. And some of those are really good for certain traveling series. And we've looked at all of those of how they would apply to our series, right? And so while some of them are pretty good, they're not quite what we need yet. So we're still studying those systems that are out there. There are other systems out there besides the two I mentioned that potentially could be a lot more. We're looking for something comprehensive that not only is going to benefit you guys, but also has a whole race control software package as well, too. So we can tie in-car flagging to our flags on the corners, to our camera system, to our timing system, all of that. There's software out there, there's programs out there that can tie that all in together. So while I know that some of you guys have seen like Flagtronics being popular in some other series, I still don't think it's quite ready for us yet. I wouldn't want to make you guys buy a unit that's got to go in your car and mandate that, only to find out 2 years later, no, we should have gone another direction, going to make you all get something different, okay? So we're really looking at that stuff closely, and when we think the time is right to pull something, then we'll make a decision and say, okay, this is what you guys are going to have to do. For those who may not know, the units that we're talking about, you're probably talking about a commitment from a driver of maybe a couple $100, $300, $500, $700 would be pretty much on the high end. So not a huge commitment, but at some point we're probably going to go that direction where you're going to have something in car that's going to tell you you're coming up on a yellow flag or even a blue flag, or it can give you a display of a message from race control that, we need you to come in, or you're getting black flagged or something like that. Along with that, there's also other opportunities to directly communicate with a driver or a team in some various ways. The issue I have with that is I would say probably more than half of our drivers really aren't in communication with anyone on pit lane during a race. So Miata guys only, how many of you guys are actually talking to someone on pit lane during your race? My point exactly, right? So when we talk about different opportunities, whether it be through chat groups or whatever, that's not going to work unless we have something that can directly communicate to someone in the car. Radical guys, I bet you most of them are in communication with the team on pit lane. Probably wings, they probably are as well too. And GT guys, how many GT guys are in communication with someone on pit lane? Yeah, just a couple. So we got to take that into factor that, when we're racing here, most guys don't have a team waiting for them on pit lane. They don't have support like that. They're kind of running out of their garage or doing their own thing. So when we look at all these different systems, we've got to take that into account and find something that's going to work well for all of us, okay? So we're keeping an eye on that stuff for sure. Let's get to a little bit more in detail on some other stuff. So GT racing, we all know that last year there was some but some conversations about making GT dyno results and classifications public, and we want to make sure everyone's in their right classification. So what we've done, I think most of you guys have seen this at least if you haven't done it yet, is we've got an online form now to do your GT stuff. The calculations haven't changed at all. It's essentially the same form, but what you're doing is you're doing this online. It's going to be public on the website, or it is public on the website, where you can see everyone else. This is what their horsepower is, this is what their torque is, etc. This is what their classification is. All those factors, you can look at your competition now and know exactly how they're filling out their stuff. Should keep everyone in check. There's no reason that anyone should put something inaccurate on there, and I don't think we had much of a problem with that either. But now you know what your competition has got. So a couple things on that. One, you don't need to do a new dyno if you haven't changed anything on your car. If you've made any modifications on your car, you have to do a new dyno, okay? However, everyone does have to fill out that online form. There hasn't been that many guys that have done it yet, maybe 12 to 15. We got a lot more that need to do it. You need to do it before your first race. We got to have that. Another thing is, if you've got a car that you can change the power stick on, you've got to declare what power stick you're using, and that's it. You're not changing. If you change, you're changing for the rest of the year. You're not going to bounce back and forth, okay? So you've got to declare what power stick, what power mapping you're using, and at the same time, only one of these per car. We don't want you to fill out, well, if I run the car in this configuration, here's my class. If I run it in this configuration, no. One per car. Pick whatever configuration you're going to run, and that's what you're going to stick with. If you want to make a change, that's fine. Come talk to us, but then you're going to stick with that change the rest of the year. There's no bouncing back and forth. That just leads to confusion, leads to problems, right? Leads to confusion in us because we don't know what you're really doing. Leads to confusion with the other drivers because now, okay, your car is in a different configuration than it was last time I raced you. So stick with one thing. Declare what you're going to do, stick with it, and we should be good, okay? This may be a point where people want to talk a little bit further, and I'm going to be around the rest of the day, so if you've got something you want to talk about with this, we can definitely do that. But keep in mind, you've got to do the online form. Calculations haven't changed. You don't need a new dyno if you haven't changed anything, okay? Let's see. Miatas. I sent an email out about this a little while ago. But a reminder that fire systems, a fire suppression system, is going to be recommended for this year. I think it's a great idea. I don't know why you would wait. If you got the opportunity to do it, I would do it. By next year, we're going to make it mandatory. There's no reason not to. These things don't add a lot of weight. They're not really all that complicated to put in. They're not all that expensive. So we're going to make fire systems mandatory. I'm sure it's coming in other series as well too, but we don't have to wait for other series to do what's right for our guys. It makes a big difference. Reminder to everyone with a fire system, whether you're a GT guy, you're a Radical guy, you're a Wings and Things guy, Formula Car guy, whatever, if you've got a fire system in your car, that has to be maintained. If you haven't touched it all winter, you better maintain that before you go on track again, okay? Things to point out is the cable can get stuck. You left a pin in the fire extinguisher, whatever. Check your fire system. Don't just go on track and assume, hey, I've got a fire system, I'm good. You better be checking that thing. It requires maintenance, okay? You got to make sure everything is working properly. I can't tell you how often it happens. Someone goes to use their fire system and it's inoperable. That's the wrong time to find out, okay? Find out when you're in the garage, have your shops look at it, etc. But that's something we're going to be doing, is mandating fire systems inspect Miatas next year. Helmets. I've been getting a lot of questions about helmets. The 2025, the SA 2025 helmets are not going to be available until October, okay? That means the rule has not changed yet. Everyone's still good. Your 2015 helmet is still good this year. Next year, you're going to have to replace that 2015 helmet. Your 2020 helmet will still be good. But the 2025 helmets will be out in October. Alan, if Alan's around, he's probably got a ton of 2025 helmets coming. He's the man to talk to. He can pretty much get you just about anything. So check with Alan when it's time for a new helmet. Cameras. So obviously cameras mandatory, we all know that. But I would like to encourage people to start thinking outside the box besides GoPros or something simple. The 360 zoom cameras, the 360 cameras are actually now cheaper than like a GoPro, and they show so much more. A, you can learn a lot as a driver because you can see your line better, you can see the cars around you. It really helps as a data type thing. But B, if you're reviewing an incident, you see so much more. I really want to encourage people to start thinking about using 360 cameras. So if you're going to replace your camera, go with a 360. It's going to be the way to go. Do we make that mandatory at some point? Maybe, possibly. So definitely give that some consideration, okay? Podiums when it comes to enforcing penalties with cameras. So like I said, we're going to change some things at the podium kind of to make that whole feel a little bit better. But when it comes to maybe enforcing some penalties after a race, we may be enforcing penalties before the podium happens instead of waiting a couple of days. We've got such good coverage with the camera system now that if we see something that's rather obvious, we're going to make that call before final results are released, right after the race. Now keep in mind, if you get a penalty before the podium and you get dropped down or something like that, you still have the right to appeal, and that can change, but it's going to be a couple days later. You may miss out on a podium, but also the flip side of that is you may be making someone else miss out on a podium if we don't do that, okay? Someone who should have been up there but wasn't because a penalty was not assessed, they're going to miss out on that, okay? So it's not perfect. We'd love everyone to make sure they got their podium when they deserve it. So we're going to be assessing some penalties before podiums even get released. But keep in mind you can appeal that. We also have the Racer Appeal Committee still in place. So I was happy to know from that survey that most of you guys knew we had that system. And so they're there. We can use it if we need to. It's the same guys returning. They're all committing their time to this. So we've got that as a backup, okay? Licenses. Kyle has been sending out emails to anyone's license who has expired. And so if you've received one of those, make sure you get your license up to date. You cannot race unless you have your license up to date. Your license expires when your medical expires. So in other words, you cannot race unless we have an updated medical on you, okay? Our race schools, I just want to point out the race school. We had a lot of new people go through the race school, and we're probably going to have a lot again this year. One thing about our race schools that you may not know is our race schools are now officially, you can get an SCCA national license, you can get a USAC license, you get a PCA license, SRO. Our race school is being recognized pretty much around the country by all these big series. So if you want to go racing elsewhere and you already have your Autobahn license and you've been racing with us for years, you can get anything you want. If you're a newer driver and you come through our school, you can start working your way into other series if you want to. So there's good stuff there. Alan, why don't you start making your way up here? Alan's got a couple things to say. Let me double check, make sure I didn't really miss anything. We think it got covered, but I think I got most things done. Gonna let Alan talk about a couple things, and then I'm gonna be around the rest of the afternoon. So come and talk to me. When Alan's done, we're kind of gonna wrap up here, a short break, and then we're gonna start the regular membership portion of the day, a meeting there. We've got some exciting announcements to say during that, so I encourage you to stick around for that. But Alan, what you got for us? Absolutely. So, let's get to it.
Thanks, Mike. I know there's not a lot of karters here tonight, but there's a lot of exciting things happening in 2025 at the kart track, a lot of changes. One of the things that I'm really happy about is we're getting a new starter stand this year. This is awesome. So we call it the baby crib, the blue and yellow thing down there. It's kind of falling apart and rotting, but anyway, we should have it by about June. We're really excited about that. I know it doesn't sound like really cool to you guys, but it's cool to me. So one of the other things that's really exciting as well too is we're going to be running some new track configurations this year. Don't come and ask me what they are, because you won't see them until the week we run the race. Okay, so there's going to be some new configurations out there. You probably are thinking, how are you going to do that? I'm going to do it. So we're going to be running some new configurations this year. We have a new fleet of demo carts. So what I'm going to do for all the car guys here, come on down, try a go-kart out. I have brand new Margays to try out. It's really a good learning tool for people that want to increase their racecraft. Even if you want to pound some laps, come on down, guys. Just come on down and visit us. They're brand new carts. They're fun to drive. These are race carts. These are not the rental carts, by the way. So, more than likely, maybe you haven't been down to the kart track in a long time. It's a cool place. I mean, you guys got to come down and check it out. So, one of the changes and things that happened last year is we run a traveling series with Margay, the Margay Ignite Challenge. They're coming again this year. The format is going to be similar, where they're going to run 2 races on that Saturday. The racers can only count 1 this year. Okay, so one of those races, if you decide to do the Margay Challenge, you can only pick the better of the 2 days, or the better of the 2 races, to contribute to your 6 races. You're still going to get 2 drops. The problem last year was people that ran and were able to count both races. It didn't seem totally fair to the rest of the guys and gang that was racing. Anyway, so one of the things that is probably the most exciting, and I don't think anybody in this room knows, is Margay. Yes, he knows. So the class champions in rookie, junior, senior, and masters, the class champion, the Autobahn class champion, will get free entry in the Margay Ignite Challenge in 2026. So Margay is funding your racing in 2026 if you decide to want to do travel races. If you win the Autobahn Championship this year, you get a full ride next year for your entry fees. And that is a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal, and it's really cool that they're coming up with this. We're going to do something fun this year. Mike had talked about some fun stuff. On festival weekends on Sunday, we are going to run a rental kart race that's going to count for points. So there's going to be 3 rental kart races. This is for fun, guys. So just come on out. There's going to be probably a maximum of 20 drivers, and then those 3 races, we'll give awards out, and at the end of the year, we'll have some fun with it. We just wanted to find some fun things to do on that Sunday of festival weekends. One of the things that Mike had mentioned earlier, I'm going to probably contradict, is the aspect of GoPro. I manage a lot of the dealer relationships as well too. So we have Garmin. So anybody looking for Garmin catalysts for your car, we're an AIM dealer. We're also a MyLapse dealer, and soon to be a GoPro dealer and an Oakley dealer. So we're going to have there's some exciting news coming from GoPro that they're going to offer some cameras that do a lot more than they did before. So I don't have the GoPro and the Oakley thing solidified yet, but it's going to happen. So if anybody's looking for transponders, Garmin units, Micron units for your go-kart, and then I'm working with AIM to try to do AIM car stuff. That hasn't been solidified yet as well too. And the last thing I wanted to mention was if anybody is looking for something faster than a Briggs & Stratton kart, we also deal with multiple different brands of karts that we can get with 2-cycle engines as well too. If somebody's looking to go faster, we have that availability. And that's really all I had. I just wanted to give you an update of what's going on at the kart track. And for the karters that are here, welcome. And for the car guys and girls, welcome back.
Cool stuff. So I didn't mean to diss on your GoPro whole deal there, you know. If you think Spec Miata racing is close, you should try one of the rental kart races. Absolutely insane. And if you like speed, you're not going to get more sensation of speed than one of the 2-stroke go-karts out there. So we covered a bunch of stuff, kind of handled all the racing stuff. Some new information, hopefully. Hopefully this is worth your time a little bit. But if nothing else, it kind of gets everyone together. We get ready for the season and get ready to go. We're going to take about a 10-minute break here, and then we're going to gather everyone again, and we'll do more of a member meeting there. But then don't forget, when that member meeting is over, we've got all our beautiful cars here for the shops. Stop and talk to the shops. See what their new offerings are, what kind of deals they've got, what kind of cars they've got for sale. really talk to those guys. There's going to be some lunch available. So let's take a little break here. 11 o'clock sharp, we're going to start the member meeting. Thank you guys very much. Yeah, I will. Yep. All right, guys, we're going to get started here. If we got your attention. So like I said earlier today, it's always really exciting to have everybody here. There's so many familiar faces. But as we've known, the club has grown so much in the last several years that there's new faces as well, too. So we want to get to know all the new faces as well, too. But we also want you guys to know, who the team is around here, too. So I'm pretty proud to introduce our key team here. We've got Tim O'Donnell as our founder and CEO. Craig Cunningham is our COO and general manager. Mark Basso, our founder and crazy idea guy that thought of the whole thing. And Tom Herb, one of our owners. So I'm going to hand it off to these guys. They've got a couple things to let us know.
Thank you, Mike. We'll make this short. The sun's out, the sky's blue, the track's starting to get warmer, so we'll make this short. But this is always an exciting day for us after 5 months of off-season work. But it's not like we've been sitting around doing nothing and twirling our thumbs. We're really busy, but we're proud to say that the club is strong and continues to grow. We sent a letter out the other day that kind of summarizes a little bit of what's been going on over the last, call it 6 to 8 months. We're proud to say that we've added 26 full members and 18 social members in 2024. And so far this year, we've added 5 full members and 2 social members. So we're very happy to see that we're still getting a lot of prospects, good members prospects into the club to get them here and get a sense of what the motorsports experience here at Autobahn's all about. We'd like to acknowledge our new members. So all new members who joined in 2024 and 2025, if you could please stand up. Excellent. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Autobahn, and we thank you for being part of the Autobahn family. One of the things that we've been emphasizing as a team is what distinguishes Autobahn from the auto motorsports clubs, and its excitement, camaraderie, and community that we have here. It really does make us different from the other clubs that we see around the country and that are popping up in concept. And we have an active member base here, and providing the best motorsports experience possible is what we are all about. We are definitely committed to the advantage we have of a vibrant, active, engaging membership, so we're very happy about that. This active motorsports environment we have here is recognized in the industry. We're certainly acknowledged as an industry leader. And we're very grateful to all our members for your support and commitment to the club and making Autobahn the envy of the motorsports club industry. We see it at PRI. We'll talk about a couple things in the presentation here, and you'll get a sense of where we're at. We got a great foundation and where we're going. So Mark, I'm going to give it to you, an update on some of the real estate stuff.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah, I mean, obviously, as Tim said, one of the things that separates Autobahn from all the other clubs around the U.S. and really why we're a leader, and part of that is the real estate development here has just been amazing over these 21 years, and it's really created a community, and cars take up a lot of space, so you have to accommodate for that. But what we've been trying to do all along is develop a ladder system of products, and so I think most of you are familiar, but for those who aren't, we have the simplest is just leave a car here, so that you can store one car here, and we have the race house, which has a place to store 1 or 2 cars on lifts. We have a nice upstairs there with a lounge and hotel rooms, and then we have our single garages, our double rental garages, and about 100 of those are all spoken for, and we have a waiting list. So it's good and it's also a problem, but we're working to address that. So our next rental product that we're working on would be doing the feasibility study right now for rental condos. So we think that'll be a nice next step for a lot of people. And then after that, you get into basically the ownership options, which are, we've done 2 condo buildings so far. They range from 2,500, 3,500, and 5,000 square feet. So those, obviously, there's 9 of those have done, they're beautiful. And so now our next product above that is the duplex. So you see the duplex, good timing. But it's David and Gary jumped in right away, and those are beautiful units. So the garage is about close to 2,500 square feet. Second floor has 2 bedrooms, an office area, a big living area, fireplace, huge island, little deck. But then the pièce de résistance is, you see the pergolas is a rooftop deck. So when you're up there, you have pretty much views of the entire South Circuit. And it's swanky build. I mean, everything is really high end. It's a beautiful turnkey situation. So then obviously above that we have the lots. We have the lots and the garage mahals. So then really that, once again, that no really other club in the U.S. has the level that we have, especially the amount of units. And we actually do have 1 garage mahal that came up for sale, and this doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, they usually don't last long. So it's a beautiful garage right on Patience. But the other thing that a lot of people don't realize is you see these lots and, I want to build a building, and it's like, well, geez, if I build something, how do I ever get out of it? But believe it or not, in the last 5 years, we've had over $17 million of real estate change hands here. And I was surprised when I added up the figures too. But so it's an active market here. It's an active place, and it's going to do nothing but grow. So we're happy to, anybody who's interested in checking out the duplex, we could probably still see it before the finishes go in. And any interest in the garage mahal or lots, I'm around. So thanks a lot, guys.
Okay. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, the real estate opportunities here are endless. We still have a number of undeveloped acres that we are looking at to meet the demands of car storage on site and the convenience of car storage on site. So we had a real busy off season. I thought I was going to get a breather. Craig thought he was going to get a breather. I think Mike thought he was going to get a breather. But we had a busy off season, and it was not only investing in our facility, but it was also investing in our team. And we spent a lot of time re-emphasizing our vision and core values that we'd like to share these with you. We spent a lot of time on this in the off season, talking about these important tenets of what Autobahn is with our team. And so our vision statement's to be the gold standard in providing unparalleled motorsports experiences to our members and guests. And that really hits on the head the advantage I talked about of how our club is so vibrant and active with the community and the camaraderie and the excitement. So the gold standard is the focus of everything we do. Abiding by our core values, Mike, if you want to show those, will enable us to be the gold standard. And we talked about these as a team, and we revisited them several times in the off season, and we nailed down our core values to these things. Strive for excellence in everything we do, safety first always, challenge the status quo, create unforgettable experiences, and this one's interesting, operate with a 1.80 pit crew mentality. And Tom, you were an important part of this exercise, and I thank you for that. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to explain what 1.80 means.
Good morning. So 1.80 mentality. When we started out with this endeavor about how to take our team to the next level, we started talking about as owners, what is a fantastic example of teamwork? What is the thing you can point to and say, yeah, that's a well-operating team? Right away you think of SEAL Team 6, you think of the Blue Angels, you think of Pardon? McLaren. You think of, anyway. So anyway, nice segue, Charlie. Thank you. So the 1.08 mentality is, in racing, there is no better visual, physical representation of teamwork than a Formula One pit crew. If you watch Formula One, they're in and out in 2 seconds. Unbelievable. 20 people working together in harmony to change 4 tires in 2 seconds. 1.80 is the fastest recorded pit stop ever in the history of Formula One. And if you slow down the video and you watch it, the McLaren team, as Lando comes into pit, changes 4 tires in 1.8 seconds. It is 20 plus people working in harmony, moving as one to achieve a goal, a common goal. And that is excellence. That is to win the race. That is to be the best. So that's when you see around here, you know, 1.8. If anything says 1.8, it's because we're reminding each other on the team, on our pit crew, which is our employees, our pit crew, that 1.8 is the pinnacle of excellence for us. And so I commend Chef, wherever he went. He was the first person to, you know, we brought this out. He was the first person to jump on it, grab a hold of it, and you see on his uniform, he's got 1.8 embroidered on his uniform. You're going to see this throughout here and there on things, and it's just what it means. We are striving for excellence in everything we do, and we actually have a physical representation we can point to and say, are we behaving like that? Are we performing in harmony like that pit crew? So that's what the 1.8 mentality is all about.
Thank you, Tom. So as you can see, we've been busy. And so I'd like to move forward. I think Craig, talking about teamwork, Craig's going to certainly address our strong team.
Thank you, Tim. Hey, good to see everybody. Little sidebar. Really enjoyed socializing with all of you guys this morning. And ladies, it was wonderful. What a community, what a team we have here. It made me realize how fortunate I am to be a founding member of Autobahn. And I look at that list up there. It's a list of incredible and great people. Another, and very thankful for that list, but I would say another great group of individuals on our list is the list of our employees and our management team. They're incredible. They're dedicated to making sure we're safe every day here, that we have a great experience when we're here, from the food to that fun to everything that happens. So we are really focused on our employees, our management team, and we're investing in them, and that's where we're going. I'm really proud to be a member of the management team here, the leadership team as we call it here. The owners and the senior management team have been committed to supporting and investing in our employees and our leaders, and with that we moved into some great investments and great meetings this off season. Our leadership training, we engaged with Bill Bartlett. He's a well-known business consultant, and he's also known for executive coaching, leadership training, personal coaching, and his resume is unbelievable, folks. I mean, he coaches a lot of professional top athletes in baseball, golf, etc. He's done a lot of large corporations and mid-sized corporations. He's the guy, and we're very fortunate to have him be a part of our team. So he's been leading our team strategies here in development, and we asked Bill to focus on analyzing our business culture, number one. Who are we? What are we doing? What are we looking to accomplish? Look at our growth strategies. And then from there, develop customized training and coaching programs that focuses on the areas of leadership and professional development. So that process has begun. It started in fourth quarter 2024. We started doing these individual evaluations. So Bill has interviewed, I would say, our 10 primary leaders of the management team, and he has assessed their skills, their strengths, their weaknesses, and he's developed goals and plans for each person. So our next round of meetings with Bill will include some of the direct reports to our leadership team. So we're going to the middle management level as well. We want to invest in everybody that's here. So that's in the process right now. And those meetings have been happening, again, all off season. So in the last 5 months, it's really brought our team close together with some structure, some strategy, some topics. The team has really come together. It's like the 1.8, Tom. It ties to that exactly, and that's one of our goals when we have these group meetings, these team meetings, is develop the team in some process. We're focused on the company vision, core values that Tim had mentioned, and we're also focused on communication, collaboration, problem solving, and results. And that's what's been happening in these meetings. And we also set individual goals and KPIs for each person on the management team. So monthly, we'll get together and review the KPIs for each person, their goals, and how their goals roll up to the overall vision of Autobahn. So this is some new structure that we put in place to really help develop our team. And when we add to the team, which I'll get to, it's really been a real positive. And I can say that our team, boy, we're ready to go for 2025. And I think you'll see it when you're here. There's a whole new vibe. There's a whole new attitude. There's new thinking. We're getting out of the box a little bit, which we'll expand on that in a moment too. But we've also been adding to the team. We got four people, or 4 groups, I would say, that we added to the team in late 2024. One of them is Andrew Hobbs. He is the manager of our driver academy. And Andrew is an accomplished pro-level racer at SCCA, USF 2000, IMSA, etc. And he was a professional instructor for manufacturers like AMG, Maserati, Alfa Romeo, Toyota, etc. But Andrew comes from a family of that's involved in motorsports and the automotive industry. His father owns a Honda dealership up in Wisconsin. His grandfather is David Hobbs. You might know that name, and he's been around for a while. He's raced for 30 years. He was doing Indy, IMSA, Can-Am, F1, and he's had a lot of influence on Andrew. So great background for Andrew, good guy. He's joined the team, and he's building our instructor team as well, and some of you are here are going to help out. Tom, appreciate it, and the rest of you. But Jordan Missick is our chief instructor, and he's involved, and you'll hear from him in just a little bit, and he's our very own, and he's got a great racing career going on as well, but he's our chief instructor working with Andrew. Another addition was Rick Jerding. He's our director of food and beverage and executive chef. You guys smelled some burgers earlier, I think. He's got a great experience, great background. He comes from being a private chef for many years, and then he was also involved many years at golf course country clubs like Joliet Country Club, Ruth Lake Country Club, Idlewood. He's an excellent chef, but he's also, which we appreciate as well, he's an excellent businessman. So it brings a whole another element and structure to the food and beverage area, which is really important to us as far as bottom line is concerned. Another addition to the team is Ray Mena. He's the founder of Menagerie, which is a full-service marketing and branding company. Ray's working with Sarah Gilbert, who's our director of marketing, and he's working it up with all the... Hey, Rick, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, it's good to see you. Hey, I'm hungry, by the way. So, Rick Jerding. It's not going to be easy to lose weight with this guy around. Not going to happen, I agree. So we're happy to have Rick here. He's got a great experience, and I think you'll notice a difference in our food quality and some of the things we'll be doing in the future. So on the marketing side, back to Ray. He's working with Sarah, who's our director of marketing, and you've probably been seeing a lot more on Instagram and in social media. But he's working with each business unit as well, and he's working with the marketing strategy for each business unit, the branding in each business unit, and the execution for growth strategy. So Ray's been doing some great things with us, and he's part of the team as well. The other one that, the other addition to the team, which, man, we're excited about, is, boy, I tell you, they're the top racetrack engineers and architects in the world. These guys took an interest in us because of, quite frankly, we've made them millions of dollars. We started the motorsport country club industry, and they're designing clubs all over the world. They also do F1 tracks, etc. And Mike's going to expand on that a little bit. But Tilka has been working with us. We've had great meetings. We're clicking, we're understanding each other, and you're going to see some vision and some changes in the track, the facility, the buildings. That's our plan. We reached 20 years, but that's not good enough. We got to keep going. So 21's important and going forward. So Tilka is going to be a key ingredient to that, and I love these guys. And Mike, I'm going to hand it over to you so you can introduce Tilka further.
So this is one of the most exciting parts of the day right here is the introduction of this. So Tilka, for those who may not know, they are the global gold standard in track design. They've done most of the most recent Formula One tracks, MotoGP tracks, but they're also the global leader in designing motorsports clubs. So to add them to our team here is just really a huge, important announcement. So we've entered into an agreement with them, and what they're going to do is they're going to take a look at our property and see how we can grow into the future. Last year, 20th anniversary, that was great. What a ton of fun. What a huge accomplishment that we should all be proud of. But man, we're moving on now. We're looking to the future, right? And Tilka is going to help us do that. They're going to take a look at our track. Is there changes we can make to the track to make it more exciting? Is there things we can change up to make that different? They're going to look at the whole property for member engagement and member experience. What can we do better as we build into the future and how we do this? They're going to look at the kart track. What changes can we make down there? So we've already had some excellent meetings with them, and they're so impressive, and they've got some really great ideas that they're floating out there. So as the months go on, we're going to kind of start narrowing down that focus and what actually would work for the business model, and what's going to engage our members. What are our members looking for? So we're really excited to be meeting with them. We've got meetings set up almost every other week. They're going to be on site here towards the end of the month. That's going to be an exciting time, but we're really looking forward to working with them and seeing where they take us. Just part of that team building thing, and we're continuing to grow and continue to look to the future. And this is a really exciting element. So we're very happy to announce that we've entered into this agreement with Tilka. As the months go on, maybe sometime midsummer, we'll have something to show you guys, and probably not too long after that, maybe we'll have a final presentation where we can show you really the ideas they've got, and we can get some feedback and see what we think sticks, what's a good idea. But it's exciting to have someone at their level, the gold standard, thinking outside the box of where can Autobahn go in the future here. So it's great. Yep. So next up here, yep. Kyle's going to come and talk to us, and he's got some great things to announce on some of the activities we're going to be doing this year.
Thank you very much, Mike. First and foremost, I want to thank you guys, but also I've been back there listening to everyone come up and speak, but I'll be honest, I'm having a really hard time listening to some of these guys because I'm actually listening to these engines out on track. It just warms my heart hearing race cars on track. The off season is great. It's a nice time to unwind, work on your cars, but we're back at it full swing, and with cars on track. That just, how awesome is that? So anyways, this year I've got a couple of new roles and some new titles. The one I want to talk to you about today is I am now the Director of Member Engagement Services. Okay? Still overseeing track operations on a daily basis, but another focus of mine is working with all of you and creating some fun, unique experiences here at Autobahn. So behind me, we have just a snapshot of some of the social activities. And I encourage everyone to scan the QR code. That way you can get updates, you can get all of this stuff right here on your phone. But one event that I'm very excited about is, quick show of hands, who lives in the city of Chicago? Chicago proper. All right. You guys are all welcome. And those of you that don't live in the city, come on into the city, because May 3rd, we are going to the exclusive Clayton Club. The Clayton Club is a cigar lounge downtown Chicago. Okay, Doug, I know you're a cigar smoker, so I expect to see you there. A couple of other people, Charlie, we've had cigars before. We encourage you and your guests to come out to the Clayton Club. They're opening up their doors for us May 3rd. We're gonna, it's a free cigar tasting. We're gonna check out their club, mingle with some of their members. It's a very unique space and something that you can only do here at Autobahn. So check out the website for that. Another new social activity that we're doing, June 28th. Where are we? Right there. June 28th. We're doing an event called Wings and Wheels. It is going to be a full track day here at Autobahn. We have member racing. We have Spec Miata racing. We have that Radical regional race. So by all means, bring your friends and family out, watch the races. After the races, we're all going to get into our cars and we're driving up to Joliet Lewis Airport, and we're going to have a car show and an airplane show. Okay? We're going to be hanging out in one of our members' hangars there. We're going to have food and music, car show, planes to check out, and there's also going to be some extra special treats in there as well. It's going to be an amazing event, so definitely mark your calendars for Wings and Wheels on June 28th. Returning this year, we're going to have garage crawls, always a fan favorite. We're going to do 2 garage crawls this year, so mark your calendars for that. We're all going to be going up to Road America, cheering on a lot of our members that are going to be racing for the IndyCar weekend, so you're going to want to join us for that. Back by popular demand, and Alan is going to be hosting the evening kart race. We're going to do a camp out again, okay? I really want to focus this year and moving forward on family-friendly activities, okay? So you're going to see some more family-friendly stuff coming up soon, but if you have ideas, suggestions, reach out to the member committee, okay? Some of the member committee guys are here. Can you raise your hands? All right, perfect. See our member committee, talk to them. They are the direct voice. I report to the member committee, okay? So if you come up with suggestions, talk to those guys, and I'm going to be attending their meetings and, listening, giving feedback, things like that. But by all means, make use of the member committee. Festivals. We're doing our 3 major festivals that we always do every year. Sundays, again, we're going to focus on kids' activities on Sundays. We really want you to bring your kids out and have a good time here at Autobahn. So, Springtime Speed Fest. Ladies, all the wives, the mothers, everything like that. Springtime Speed Fest, Sunday, May 11th, is actually Mother's Day. There is no better place for your wife to be than right here at Autobahn. Okay? Tell her that. All right. But, okay, this is actually a present for you guys. I've got your Mother's Day all planned out for you. Okay? So this is a cakewalk. You're welcome. Okay. First, we're gonna have a wonderful buffet. So food taken care of. Okay. I've seen some of you guys cook. You're gonna want to eat our food. Okay. Second, we are doing massage and mimosas. Okay. So I have a massage therapist. She's going to come in. She's going to give chairside massages, and we're going to pump your wives and girlfriends full of mimosas. They should be pretty happy, okay? So that's Mother's Day. Not to mention, if she wants to get in a car, we've got our fleet vehicles, and we've got rentals available. So if she's got the need for speed, she can do that as well, okay? Also, we're going to be changing it up. Sunday of Springtime Speed Fest, members, they're going to be lapping on South Track. We're going to be doing a bunch of fun, different activities on North Track. We're going to be testing this out throughout the 3 festivals. Some festivals will do a track cross, which is basically an autocross out on North Track. We're bringing back drag racing, which is always a popular event. There's also going to be other activities going on, maybe some off-roading or things like that. So we're going to be mixing it up on Sundays. So watch that QR code, watch that social calendar on the member website. Okay? Festival of Speed, some unique things there. We're going to be bringing in some inflatable stuff so the kids, bounce houses, all that fun stuff, so the kids can come out, bounce around, burn off some of that energy. Saturday night, after the racing, we're going to offer night drift ride-alongs, okay? If you guys haven't, we've been doing drift ride-alongs on Sundays, which we're actually going to continue as well, but Saturday night, they're going to be drifting on track kind of at dusk and things like that. If you haven't gone for a drift ride, these guys are absolutely insane. There's nothing like entering turn 1 here behind the clubhouse at about 70 miles an hour, pitching it completely sideways, okay? And then they make it all the way around. I mean, some of you guys do that, but end up in the grass, okay? These guys don't end up in the grass, and they do it. They drift all around the track. It's a whole lot of fun. Bring your friends, family, and if you can get them a drift ride, it's amazing. That night, we're doing a glow-in-the-dark theme, so it's going to be a big party. Craig and Ben have been working very hard. We're going to be doing some concerts here as well. So, again, there's tons of activity for all 3 festivals, and just a lot of stuff. So continue to come out for that. A couple of other new events. Actually, Kathy came up with a phenomenal idea, because a lot of you guys, for some reason, like to ride bicycles, okay? I prefer motors. I don't want to do any physical exercise. However, Kathy is leading when it gets a little bit warmer. I think the first one is in June. We are doing Bike the Bahn night, okay? So bring out your bicycles, your foot power scooters, anything like that. You can walk the track. It's an after-hours bike ride around the track, okay? And again, we encourage you to some are full track, some are, north, south, but yeah, there's a lot of cyclists here, and you can come out and all do a group ride around the track. So thankfully you won't have to see me wearing spandex when I'm out there. So no. You guys want to see that? I don't. All right. I mentioned the track cross. I mentioned the drag racing. Other than that, if you guys, again, have any suggestions or anything that you would like to see here at Autobahn, you can talk to the member committee, or you guys know where my office is. Stop on in, say hi. But I appreciate you guys taking the time, coming out, seeing us, and it's going to be a great season. So thank you very much, everybody. All right, next I'm going to invite Jordan up. He's going to talk to you guys about what's happening with the Driver Academy.
Thank you, Kyle. Like Kyle alluded to, it's great to see everybody back out here again. Obviously, feels like opening day on the baseball side. So even though it's not opening day, but it's great to see everybody back out here and on track, and seeing cars back on track and again with a nice sunny day. But kind of what Craig alluded to, with the Driver Academy, we went through a new management with Andrew Hobbs obviously coming in. His office is going to be right next to mine, so if you ever want to say hi to him or meet him, just come and stay at the track ops office. You'll be able to meet all of us in there as well. That's kind of where he's stationed. But really, the new thing that we have with the Driver Academy is, you guys might have seen it already as you guys were walking in, was the new addition of a fleet car as well. We now have another Toyota Street GR86 that's part of our fleet as well, and it kind of complements the other Street 86 that we have now, so where it takes our total up to 6 cars within our personal fleet of 2 Spec Miatas, 2 Street GR86s, along with the 2 Cup GR86s that we have here as well. And those cars are also available for rent too. So if anybody, automatic transmission as well too. So if anybody's very new to the track, wants to understand track driving at a very basic level, maybe you have some guests that you're bringing in, or different people that you just want to have a fun time out here at the track with, the Street GR86 is a great tool to kind of get your guests and people very acclimated to the track in a very safe way and manner at a very slow speed. So that kind of is a new addition to us. The other thing we are also planning on bringing on board too is a third instructor as well, for a full-time instructor too. So there will be myself, Andrew, and potentially another instructor that's going to be kind of running around the whole premises as well. So if you ever want private coaching as well with the Driver Academy, feel free to reach out to all of us. Again, the Driver Academy is put into place for all you guys and your benefits to better yourself as a driver here on track. Whether you want to improve your driving skill, become a safer driver, or just move up the pack in terms of your track position, your finishing position on the racetrack, we can accommodate any goal that you want to do around here at our 3.56 mile of Autobahn Country Club. So please utilize the Driver Academy to your best of your advantage as well. We are here for you to better you as a safety of a driver, as well as improve your performance out on the racetrack as well. The other thing I'll mention too, to all the new drivers as well, race schools. Race schools are coming up as well. We actually have a race school that's happening next week on Friday and Saturday, I believe, on the 18th and 19th of April. So if you have not gotten a race license yet before the start of the year and you want to be participating in our racing series, feel free to reach out to me or email or talk to Mike Gritter. He is basically the one in charge. We're basically the ones in charge of the whole race school. So please reach out to us if you have any questions in terms of race licensing, as well as getting involved with our race school. If you can't do the April one as well, we have a school that's happening in July as well as September later on this year. So if you want to get a license later on throughout the course of the year, feel free to do that. It's at your own pace on what you want to get into the racing and be a part of the racing series as well. It's one of the best member racing series around in the country, and especially it's the best racing series that you'll see at any country club out there. So I encourage you to get involved with that. As far as the Driver Academy goes, that's kind of the nuts and bolts of everything that we got going for this year. I'll turn it over next to Ron Davish, who's going to talk about our fleet cars that are coming out this year.
Thank you, Jordan. I'm told I have to stay within these white boxes because we're broadcasting live. Does everyone know we're broadcasting live? Yeah, 17 people watching right now. They're already here. So listen, we have some cool cars. Jordan mentioned some of the GR86s. We actually have more GR86s than we have fleet cars right now. So we're working on it, please. We are going to have a great performance fleet this year, so if you enjoy bringing your guests out, or Mike Kerwin, you enjoy driving our Corvettes, Mike, you have your own car. Drive your own car. So if you enjoy our performance fleet, we're going to have a great fleet. Audi has not yet announced what they're going to have, but they're going to bring some cars. BMW, they're holding out, but you know they always have some great M cars, always great. Cadillac, CT4, CT5 Blackwing. If you have not driven a Cadillac yet, do it. Chevrolet, we actually have a commitment for a Z06 in Sebring Orange. You know what that is, Craig? Sebring Orange? It's orange. Then we have the hybrid, which is actually faster. The E-Ray is faster than the Z06. Did you know that, Craig? I did. Craig knew that. So we're going to have that from Chevy. Chevy unofficially has partnered with Autobahn as our new performance partner in defensive driving. So they will be providing 10 vehicles to Autobahn's defensive driving. So if you've got kids, grandkids, I'm looking at Roy. There you go. Keep patient. Be patient. Any nephews, nieces, kids in the neighborhood who drive too fast, tell them about our teen defensive driving. It's powered by Chevrolet, so we're real happy to have that commitment from Chevrolet. We moved out to Lexus. They're going to have 2 LC500 convertibles, the coolest, sexiest cars around. Got to drive those. They're going to have an IS500 F Sport that's going to be for you to drive, and then we're going to have our official pace car is the Lexus IS500 F Sport, with the official pace car of the Autobahn Autobahn race series, as well as all of our lunchtime touring. Reach out to Porsche. Who's bought a Porsche from Napleton? Reach out to them. Tell them, hey, bring one of your cars over. We're hoping to have a car from Porsche. We're also hoping to have a Mustang and a Mach-E from Ford through Tirapelli Ford. So I think we're going to have a really good fleet. Be patient. I think everyone's worried about everything from tariff attacks to, whatever. So the manufacturers are pulling back a little bit, but they've always been very, very gracious to us, and it's because you guys drive our cars. Not only in lunchtime touring, but if you own a company and you want to entertain your people, you want to do a team building event, you want to do corporate entertainment for customers and prospects, not only can we do our standard programs that we have listed on our website, but you, as members, have the ability to do a little bit more boutique events, some custom events, to use the performance fleet cars, to use the Academy cars, to blend them together to make a really cool, exciting experience. So come and see me. I'm always here over in the corner office. Not the corner office. That sounds pretty official. Mark's got the corner office. Somewhere over here. Come and see me. I would love to help you out, work something out to do an event for your team. The kart track is another great place to do group events. It's a lot of fun. So we hope you come out and enjoy the track. And I hear, this is news, on the agenda, Mike is going to rap. So if we can bring up the music, Mike's going to rap. So thank you, Mike.
All right, you ready? Not going to happen. That pretty much wraps up our program for the day. So something to keep in mind is, we've got some time to mingle with our great shops over here. They're all standing by. I see them all ready to go here. They really want to show you what they've got here. Obviously, an amazing lineup of cars. We're very fortunate to have these shops on property. That's a key element of what makes Autobahn so special, is you can get your car taken care of. You can have any kind of car you want to here. So make sure you visit those guys. We've got some lunch things here, and of course the track is full track this afternoon. Really want to thank you guys for coming out. We're so excited about this new season. We're so excited about where we're headed in the future, and we owe it all to you guys. What an awesome club. Thank you guys.